This episode of the Bear and the Beard podcast is brought to you by, well, you.
That's right, Fandomites. We have launched a Patreon for the show, and we're asking you to be a part of it.
We are going to take out only what is necessary to keep the show going and to keep attending live events every month.
And the amount of funds still in the Patreon after that will be donated to our friends over the Children's of Mississippi.
That's right. In return for your generosity, the different tiers will receive different things: spring store discounts, exclusive bonus content, freebies at live events, and more.
So it's a win-win-win.
Shut up and take my money.
You help us keep the cost of the show down, get cool perks, and donate to a great cause.
Sounds simple enough. Join the Patreon today and stay awesome,
stay bearded, and much love.
Adult animated shows have been around even longer than The Simpsons. But in today's media-filled world, we have several options to watch, like Rick and Morty, Family Guy, and BoJack Horseman. But what sets these apart from childhood cartoons? Well, that's what we decided to talk about this week in Season 3, Episode 16, Getting Swiffty and Talking Adult Animation. Right after this, please stand by.
What's this?
The Bear and the Beard podcast.
Who?
Just two nerdy guys talking nerdy things with their friends and fellow fandomites.
To be fair.
They may disagree or argue sometimes, but spreading positivity and love throughout the fandoms is the goal.
All right.
It's topical.
And the categories are...
It's funny. But it's always nerdtastic.
I beg your pardon.
Let's check it out.
Oh, yeah!
Go.
What's going on, Fandomites? Welcome to, or back to for the first time, welcome to for the first time, or back to another episode of the Bear and the Beard podcast. I am the Bear. I'm joined, as always, by my majestic, the bearded, faithful co-host, Bearded Brian Guy, the Beard. Brosius, man, my guy.
Mayo Brosius, my dude. I'm so glad we're finally doing these live recordings.
Yes, this is a live recording. If you were listening to this the day it comes out, it's of course the Friday after we recorded this, so it's a little in advance. But everything we're talking about today is already out. It's all current. It's all, good. We are joined also by social media sorcerer supreme, Nerd Squatch Jay. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Doing very well. Glad to hear that rehearsal is going great. That show will be starting. What's the dates on that?
Well, okay, so if you're listening to this the day it releases, we opened last night.
Okay.
But we open October 13th, and it runs to the 23rd, but we have a possible extension to Halloween, and of course, as you saw before, it is Little Shop of Horrors by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman.
Yes.
My favorite show of all time, so I'm very excited.
I wish I could make it to that, honestly.
So this episode is actually releasing on the 7th. So you still have a week to get your tickets. You have a week to get your tickets.
So yeah, I'll put that. We can put that link in
6 days. Yes, the link will be in the description to get your tickets to Little Shop of Horrors being put on. Do you want to surprise everybody by who you're playing, or do you want to just go ahead and tell us?
Well, Little Shop is a very small cast, so I'm not on that poster, but I am actually playing the villain of the show. I am the voice of Audrey 2. I am very excited for this. She is hungry.
Feed me. Can't wait.
Feed me.
It's gonna be so good. I can't wait to see it.
More.
I think we're actually gonna come down and see it on the 15th. So the first Saturday that it opens. I think that's when we're gonna come down. Any Fandomites in the Biloxi area, definitely come down and see it. Hattiesburg, all that. Yeah. Yeah, Jenna. Definitely come and see it. And as we said, this is a live recording, so you will hear us talking to people, making comments. We're only live on Facebook right now, not YouTube. So anyone that's joining us will be able to give in their comments and stuff. And the topic today is adult animation. Now that's
Swiffty and Talkin adult animation.
Exactly. That's Family Guy. Well, Seth MacFarlane's whole,
Seth MacFarlane owns
stuff.
this. What are you talking?
Right.
This is his domain.
Rick and Morty, BoJack Horseman, Archer, Bob's Burgers. We'll get to things we like about all of them. Probably going to be a short episode. Because the funny thing is, the main reason I kind of pushed for this episode to come out now is because of all the hate one particular show is getting, and that is Little Demon.
Yes,
I am
so this show, by the way,
new to Hulu from FX. Little Demon is, the show is pretty simple. The devil's daughter finds out that the devil is her father,
not
and
just
she
the
wants to live
devil's
a normal
daughter.
life.
Danny DeVito as the devil,
Right.
and Danny DeVito's daughter playing the devil's daughter.
Yes, so good. If you haven't watched it yet, you probably should. Now, the hate it's getting is weird because, we if you've watched any of our shows, any of our episodes, if you know who we are, our whole thing is no toxicity. This isn't that, because I would understand if someone was like, I just don't like the animation, or if you have a critique, that's one thing. People are coming after this show saying that it is brainwashing children.
How many fictional depictions of Satan have there been?
But it's a twist though, because Disney, by certain rights, owns FX, and this show's being done by FX, and it's on Hulu. So they're saying
you don't
Disney
put
has
it on
to be
the
directed
TV,
towards.
your kids aren't going to watch it.
They're saying, well, Disney owns it, and Disney should be for children. Which, by the way, Disney's expanding a lot. It's not just for children.
Marvel Studios' Deadpool 3. Did anybody else see that yesterday? That ain't a Fox movie. That's a Disney movie.
Yes, we are recording this the day after Deadpool 3 came out. We cannot wait to talk about that, but we will probably save that for another live stream, I promise.
That trailer, man.
That could be a 30-minute conversation by itself. So.
Mind-boggling. And then the video that came out today.
Yeah. So the big thing is that on social media, TikTok, places like that, people are going after Little Demon, saying that it's brainwashing children. It's supposed to be a cartoon for children, but it's trying to normalize. And it's like, no, this is adult animation.
There's nothing about this show that invites children.
It's rated TV mature.
Right. I don't want this, because I know that you parent your children better than most people. So, and I don't have kids, but my opinion is, who owns the television? Who owns the remote? Disney doesn't own your TV. Disney doesn't own your remote. You choose what goes into your kids' heads.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey there, EJ.
EJ.
Our friends over at Knights of the Nerds
handsome.
Table. Knights of the Nerds Table. Go and check them out. They've been on some episodes and hope to be on further episodes and lives in the future as well. So happy for their success. They're putting out videos. Watch this before blank. So definitely go and check those out. We love our friends over there.
One.
Yeah. I held off on watching the Honest trailer and the pitch meeting for Thor until after I watched the movie. It's so weird. Normally I don't, because they're not really big spoilery, but I felt like those might have been. So I had to hold
the thing
off.
they did for She-Hulk, that is a before you watch She-Hulk thing. So there's not really spoilers for the show in that.
I need
it's
to watch
amazing.
that one.
Dieter goes into great detail.
Yes.
Love Dieter, love Josh, love you, EJ. Thank you so much for stopping
in. Thank you all very much.
So, and you're right, Jay. It's who owns the TV, who owns the right. I've gotten in that groove now where it's like, where if I wake up late on a Saturday and my kids are watching YouTube, I'm a little concerned at what they're watching, but most of the time it's like these YouTubers that are kid friendly, the material might not be, they might be playing Slender Man or something like that, but the YouTuber themselves is, a good content creator for kids, and I'm okay with that. Most of the time, it's Minecraft videos, but
limit for anyone to say that any company or any creator limit themselves and make everything in the world child friendly, that's just asinine to me.
There are several movies.
Monitor what your children do.
Exactly. And there are several movies that have been put out by Disney over the past however long they've been a thing that are actually rated R. It might not say Disney, Walt Disney production on it, but they had a hand in it and it's rated R. So they've been making content for all ages.
And they've also had Hades, Donald Duck dressed up like the devil. There have been devils in Disney for as long as it's been a thing, because the devil's been around as an allegory forever.
Now, the TikTok video that gets the most watched about hating Little Demon tries acting like it's sneaking stuff in about it. But this show is literally about the Antichrist and her coming into her powers, and her dad, who she's estranged from, is the devil. Like, they're not hiding anything. If you don't want to
watch these people watch Good Omens, I wonder?
We need to do an episode on that show for sure. I love that show.
Which, by the way, a shout out to Aubrey Plaza for playing the mother in this show.
Oh, that's fantastic.
She is so amazing.
I love that she's a Wiccan with actual powers. Like, I'm not saying anything bad about Wiccans. I'm just saying I love that that's the route they took with it. Was there's this Wiccan that in this show is so powerful that even Danny DeVito's devil is like, I forgot how powerful she was. Like, and like she like rips off her shirt or something. She's got like 6-pack abs. Like she's a bodybuilder. Like, it's hilarious. Aubrey Plaza,
she knows her shit. Great. And she criticizes like the influencer Wiccans.
Right.
That's awesome.
No one grows their own clothes anymore. Just, the details are just being lost.
This show follows, and most of the shows we're going to talk about in this episode follow the same criteria. They are adult animation, crude humor, fart jokes, dismemberment, gore, all that is in this show, just like most of them. Death, it's topical in places, but not all the time. This one has a storyline, which a few of the ones we talk about today don't really, but it's all...
I feel like the one show that we have in this list that technically is adult animation, but I feel like this is something kids can watch, because I watched it as a kid because my dad was obsessed with it. The Simpsons. The Simpsons, although it's adult animation and it suggested stuff, it is toned down.
Futurama is much worse than The Simpsons is.
Yes. Love
Futurama. Love Futurama. I've been watching back.
Love me some Matt Groening. Oh my god.
Disenchantment is another one that
fantastic.
You could let your kids watch.
Eric Andre.
Most of the jokes will probably go over a young kid's head. It's vulgar, but it's not, gruesome. There's not a lot of gore or anything like that. So that's a good one too. He just does such a good job. He's been knocking it out of the park since Simpsons started. It's the longest running adult cartoon.
I was just about to say, you don't have the longest running adult animated television show and it not be amazing.
They've even been putting out new shorts on Disney Plus that I've been enjoying.
The latest one is my favorite.
Which one? The villain one with Lisa?
Yes, the Disney. Yes. Oh my god!
If you haven't watched it yet, go and watch it.
Coming back.
Yes. If you haven't watched it yet, go and watch it. It's very well done.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
And The Simpsons inspires other stuff. I mean, it's been a long-running joke that Family Guy takes a lot from The Simpsons, but even Seth MacFarlane makes jokes about it now. Like,
there was a whole episode of South Park.
Well, there was an episode of
that
Family
also
Guy.
Said Simpsons did it. Like,
there was an episode of Family Guy where Peter's drunk or he's falling asleep or something, and he's just muttering random stuff, and he's like, we act like we didn't take a lot from The Simpsons.
Yes!
But we took a lot from The Simpsons.
I love that. And then the crossover episode that they did with
The
Simpsons.
Oh my god.
And Peter got the chicken fight with Homer. Oh my Gosh, I
worst
love that. Best
chicken fight ever.
No, best chicken fight
But
ever.
the nerd guy. Yeah.
I want to be comic book guy so bad, but I cut all
yeah.
my hair off.
I know too many people who are comic book guys.
I want to lose weight just so I can put on a fat suit to be comic book guy at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Like get a yellow morph suit, put it over a fat suit, and just be comic book guy.
I would shave my head. I just wouldn't shave my beard, but I could be bearded.
Yeah, no, it'd have to be a wig process and tie the beard into a whatever. It would be a play on it for sure. What are some of y'all's favorite? Let's start with favorite adult cartoon.
So my absolute favorite that I've been hooked on, and there's new episodes out now that I haven't seen yet because I haven't bought the new show. But Rick and Morty, I am obsessed with Rick and Morty.
That's a good show.
And I put off watching Rick and Morty for, I think the first 2-3 seasons were out before I even got into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was late to the game. Like the whole Szechuan sauce thing, when that was a big thing, I hadn't even watched Rick and Morty yet at that point.
Right.
But once I got hooked on it, man, I got hooked on it.
Back when I had a TikTok, I remember doing audios from Rick and Morty, and I had no idea where the audios were coming from. One of them was yeah, Morty, give me a beat. Oh, geez, Rick. Okay, all right. Click.
And the best thing about Rick and Morty is when you hear it on TikTok and it's funny. It's funny when you watch it in the show too. It's not like The Office where you see a snippet and you laugh at it and then you put it in context and it's just terrible.
And the whole
Rick and Morty is so fantastic.
The whole episode might not be funny, but it's going to be like 90% funny, 10% filler. Like that's Rick and Morty. Brian, since that was your favorite, what is your favorite episode of Rick and Morty, if you can say?
Ooh, has to be the one where Rick fights the president.
Oh, that is a good one. That is a very good one.
I'm Dr. Who in this shit.
Mine has to be show me what you got.
Time to get Swiffty.
Mine's the cat. The cat and the dragon. That is my favorite episode.
Yes.
And all the theories surrounding it. Like I had one a while back. It was like, what if the cat was evil Morty? And like he got turned into a cat and all the things that he did. And there he is.
You're blowing my mind, son. You're blowing my mind, son.
I changed my answer. My favorite episode of Rick and Morty, because the only thing I loved about that episode was the president versus Rick fight. But an episode I love every second of, it's when Beth and Jerry are getting divorced, and Summer and Rick and Morty are not handling it well, and they all go into like this Mad Max level universe where they're just
is that the one with the big arm?
Where he gets the big arm, the one that's out for vengeance because it has Game of Thrones references. Yep, kind of. The when he goes and fights off the guy that killed the arm's wife or whatever. It's so. I just love the whole episode. It's chef's kiss.
My favorite moment from Rick and Morty is probably where they go to the world where magic is actually science, and he figures out a way to science magic. Like that was just, dude, the Tony Stark level of like studying Thor's hammer, like the MCU references alone, just from the scenario.
If it can be explained by Ant-Man, it's not time travel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I love that because this is such a show where you would think time travel would play a place. But Rick hates time travel. It's the one thing he won't do.
Because it's boring. Not because he doesn't want to. It's boring.
And not because he can't. He's actively said that he can do time travel. He could. He's absolutely
bored
could.
With it.
He just doesn't want to. It's not his thing. There's much cooler things out there than time travel.
Yep.
I need to watch the new stuff.
I need to watch the new stuff as well. I only caught up on it on Hulu. So whatever's on Hulu I've watched. But
have you seen the latest Evil Morty thing?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I need to catch up on that show.
Does President Morty mean a thing to you?
No.
Okay. I will shush then.
But it's also been a while. I might have already seen that episode. Jay, what is your favorite adult animation show?
Mine, and I actually have a tattoo because it absolutely impacted me so much. But I am a massive fan of BoJack Horseman.
Very nice. I actually just started watching that show tonight before this episode. I watched the first 2 episodes, and so far I'm really liking it. I don't know why I didn't give it a chance before. Like
That's
half these shows.
Will Arnett, right?
Yes.
Will Arnett.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that the horse from Horse on a Ram? No.
It's so good.
Love that.
It is a good show. It's very deep.
Exactly. The dimension of it and
It's
the
got something
way
to
that
say.
it carries.
Yeah.
It's not
Netflix
just
knocked
funny
it out
for
of
being the
park
sake
with
of
that
being
one.
funny.
And the most star-studded cast and one of the most star-studded guest casts I've ever
Who
seen.
voices the cat? His agent.
Oh, that's not Julia Louis, Amy Sedaris, who is Peli Moto in The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
She's the pit builder. She's the ship.
The one that builds his new ship.
That's why I
It's Amy
recognize her
Sedaris.
voice. I'm listening to her talk, and I'm like, I know that voice. I know that
She's
voice. I
pretty
could have
much
just
known for her
IMDb'd it,
voice.
but I didn't.
Yeah, she's
Yep.
known for her voice. When she popped up in Mandalorian, I did the
Hey,
same.
Mama Kim.
Hey,
We
Mama
love
Kim.
BoJack.
Yeah, BoJack's amazing. I
And
watched that
and
whole
if you
show
ever want to
religiously.
show that? Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I was just saying I watched that whole show religiously. Like when the new seasons would come out, I'd binge watch them that night. Like,
And if
I
and if
didn't
you
miss
want
it.
something that ends on a note, most shows end with closure, and BoJack just ends in such a way that
Yep.
leaves you so distraught because there's no more. It's just so good.
I don't want to ask you favorite episode of that show because the whole show is just it's one big story. So
Right.
I'll ask you this: favorite character that's not BoJack, that's
So
not the named character.
I really do like Diane. I
Yeah.
think she's
Yes.
just the
The
heart
Ghost Rider?
of it. And
Yep.
it is just such a shame to me that she is so good and both of the men in her life are just so terrible. Mr. Peanut Butter acts so good, but I just can't.
And
stand
that is
him.
my favorite character, Mr. Peanut Butter. Other than
He
BoJack,
seems like a pompous.
Paul
Mr. Peanut. I
Tompkins
know too
is
many
so
people
good
like
in this
him.
show, but I
He
hate
really
him.
is.
Yeah, I love this show.
I'm just a dog person.
Yeah, The View from
He's a
Halfway
good boy.
There.
No, he's not.
Yeah, no,
Um,
he's not.
He's not a good boy.
And
so-
oh, I'm sorry, what?
Go ahead. No.
Oh, I
Go
was
ahead.
just going to say, Will Arnett is one of those actors that you just do not expect. You expect the same thing because he usually plays the same character. But
Yeah.
BoJack Horseman, he does something so different here.
I mean, Will Arnett is the reason that I watched the Lego Batman movie, and he's also the reason that I watched the Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. So
He's great in Arrested
I
Development.
regretted watching one of those.
I haven't watched Arrested Development. I probably need to. I've heard it's good.
It's so good.
It's one of those. It didn't catch my interest when it first came out, and I just haven't watched it yet. But
We love
thanks-
Jason
streaming
Bateman in this
services.
house.
Hey, Comic Cop.
Hello.
Hey, Comic Cop. Yeah, that was one of the. We have an interview. Brian has an interview with him that's going to come out in a bonus episode from.
Hopefully,
the
it'll
con
be
he
coming
went to
out
last
this coming Friday. I'm working on it. Yep. So, Bear,
Well,
what was your favorite adult animation show?
Oh, yes.
Actually, man, it's hard to pick because I've rewatched a lot of them. I gotta say Futurama. It's
Futurama.
probably my favorite. I've rewatched it the most times.
Yep, me too.
It's the story and the fact that we're getting new episodes, and I know a lot of people are a little worried about that. And I'm like, yeah, but there's the whole thing about, well, they said that they went back to the beginning. No, they said they were going to go back to a time before he conceived the thought of the time button.
Right.
So that could be anywhere. It could be anywhere in the show, and it could also mean an alternate timeline. And that's my theory, and I'm cool with that.
That would
show,
be rad.
much like BoJack, it ended so well, but it did it multiple times because they got canceled multiple times and then picked back up. And the cool thing about Futurama was every time they got canceled, they wrote it off. They were like, every episode that they were like, okay, this might not get picked back up again. Let's end it. But we're going to write in a way, because it's Futurama, where it can come back if it needs to. And they did such a good job doing that whole show. The only episode I did not like of Futurama was their crossover with The Simpsons. I thought it was rushed. It was okay for
I don't even remember it.
But I like the Family Guy crossover version better because they put more time into it, I feel like. That's not an insult. It's not a bad episode. It just wasn't the best episode is the thing I can say.
I'd love to do a Planet Express.
And I know at some point I've seen every episode of Futurama, but it's been so long since I've watched the whole show. I need to rewatch it before the new show comes out because it's just been a while. But I do remember one day I stuck out a moment that made me cry. The dog from his time waited for him.
Seymour.
The fact that he could he could bark walking on sunshine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, my natural hair is red. It's like ginger. Okay, so I was in choir in high school, and my choir director, who I'm actually going to recommend he listen to this because he's a big nerd. Anyway, he wanted to do an 80s throwback show, and he did Walking on Sunshine, and he had me come out in a red jacket and a white shirt and blue jeans as Fry. And it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
See you pulling that off too.
Look, if you do Fry, I'll either do Bender or Zoidberg.
I'll do Zoidberg.
You want to do
Zoidberg? I could probably put something in my beard to look like his tentacles.
Yeah, just like.
Oh my god, dude! You could use hair gel.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so easy.
And then we just got to get something to cover up to make it look like they connect, and so that you can still talk, and it'll make them move. It'll make them move. It'll be so cool. Yeah. No, Zoidberg. Yeah, no, you're Zoidberg. I'll do Bender for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's great.
Man, that's great. Yeah, we'll have to do Planet Express. Honorable mentions. Does anyone have an honorable mention? Like a second favorite?
Before we get to honorable mentions, I want to talk a little bit about this show, Big Mouth.
Such a good show.
I love the show, but I can't.
They got weird.
I want to
preface really weird.
saying I love all the episodes, and I will watch it if they ever come out with more episodes. I think it's amazing, but there's something. And back, I can't remember who it was, but there was someone else we did an episode with where we kind of mentioned Big Mouth, and they mentioned this, and I agree. There's something weird about watching. Even though they're voiced by adults, watching children go through these things that just feels uncomfortable. Because there was another show
first season because of that.
They did another show, Human Resources, where they had the same concept, but it was with adults, and that felt so much better. And I hope that show gets a second season.
Mulaney and Kroll brought that to life. I think they did a great job. You're right. It is a little weird. And they got weird. The show got a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, even for an adult animation show, like, they started, when it first comes out, it's like, this is how we experienced life, puberty and all that. And that's great. That's a great concept, I feel like, especially for an adult, because you can relate. But then when the ghosts and the pillows and just, oh my goodness, it was a little weird.
Their friend Jay.
Yeah.
I love Jason Mantzoukas, though. Yeah. I just really do love him. And
he's Pimento from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And
he is so many things, but yes.
He was also, we talked about him in our Invincible episode too, because he's one of the young heroes in Invincible. Yep. Yeah. He was also in Solar Opposites.
And the Lego Batman movie
by Rick and Morty. Yep. He was a one-off character in Solar Opposites, or at least one-off in the first season, as far as I know. He was another alien from that planet. That's another show created by Rick and Morty's creators. I've watched the first season. I thought it was, it's an adult animation show. It's funny. Probably the oldest one on the list that I've watched the longest, because I didn't stay religious on Simpsons. It had to be King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. It's been so long since I've seen King of the Hill, but I remember my mom and stepdad when I was a kid loved watching it, and I will always, because of the internet, remember that.
Yep.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a gosh dang.
I gotta do it because that's the only line I could do that makes me sound like Hank Hill for some reason. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. All right.
I also feel like for a show that was all over the place, it ended on such a really great note. I love how the ending mirrors the beginning. It's really, really nice.
I still think Bobby is actually Bill Dutrieve's son. Just I believe that theory with a lot of my heart.
I've never heard that.
Let's see if I can do the Hank Hill impression. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just need a picture of a gosh dang hot dog.
Gosh dang hot dog.
I sell propane and propane accessories.
So another show before we get to just the honorable mentions that I want to do a deep dive on. Besides The Simpsons, I think one of the longest running, and I did not look this up to see if it's true, but I think Family Guy is one of the longest running shows too.
It's probably second. Yeah.
And it has so much to offer so many people. It also offers so much to offend so many people. But the thing I love about Seth MacFarlane is he does not discriminate. He will offend anyone.
Makes fun of everyone.
And the thing I love most is when he makes fun of celebrities and they get in on the joke and voice themselves. Not every celebrity's done this, but a lot of celebrities actually get in on the jokes, and I adore that.
They didn't do it in Family Guy, but they did it in another Seth MacFarlane project. It was American Dad, where they had The Weeknd play The Weeknd.
Yes.
And it was such a good episode. But you're right. They do it on Family. They do it on both.
Ryan Reynolds comes to mind. And Tom Cruise.
Yes. And Tiny
Ryan Reynolds Family Guy episode is is Gronk actually Gronk on Family Guy? Is like Rob Gronkowski with the party bus in that episode? Is he actually played by Rob Gronkowski?
You know, I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I love that episode.
Yeah.
But I love the Ryan Reynolds.
There was also the who was it?
Nobody messes with
Chevy
Adam.
Chase and the
mayor.
Well, and
yes,
Adam
the mayor.
Yeah,
Adam West
was the
longest
mayor.
running
They're
ones.
played
And
by
since
their actual people.
Since Adam West's death, they actually got a new
Sam
mayor,
Elliott.
Sam Elliott, but he's Wild West. Yes.
Yeah, but he's not playing himself. Right.
No.
but he
looks like
playing,
himself.
Yeah.
He's got the mustache and
right. That's why I thought he did, because he looks like Sam Elliott.
But that is Sam Elliott.
So much. Yeah. It's not an adult animation show, but if you're looking for more adult content with Sam Elliott, go watch The Ranch. It was actually a pretty good show. It's the first time before Family Guy we really get to see Sam Elliott be funny, and it was actually, and the fact that, well, what's almond milk? You know,
show me the tit on an almond.
Yeah, exactly.
But every time he learns something new he doesn't know, he's always like,
right,
what in the fuck is this? Like, what in the fuck is an almond milk?
Yep.
What the fuck is
Love
Netflix?
Love it. Which
or
is
Keurig.
Funny.
His hatred of Keurigs.
Yes. Instant coffee should be instant in a pot. But yeah, no. Family Guy's been running a long time.
Yeah.
I love the Star Wars episodes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Because those actually take all the Star Wars stories, shorten them into half hour, and add humor. And they just destroy Meg in those ones, by the way. She's always
God.
Shut up.
She's the Sarlacc.
The Falcon flying back is the best part. The Falcon just coming back. Shut up.
Do you guys know what happened to the original voice actress for Meg? I don't remember what happened with that. Because the first few episodes, she had a different
it
voice
wasn't
actress.
Mila Kunis.
Right.
Mila Kunis got brought onto that show. They did. I think it was testing or something like that. But Seth MacFarlane was looking for someone else. Mila Kunis came in, did a read or something like that, and they were just like, "All right, we're going to go with her." I don't know what happened to the original actress. I just know that Mila Kunis came in pretty quick.
Yeah.
And the changeover was very well done. And then you're talking about them ripping on Meg. How about the fact that they rip on Robot Chicken like a lot.
Oh my god! And Seth Green, of course, voices Chris, and I love their little back and forth. Especially, it was at the end of one of the Star Wars episodes where he mentioned something about how Robot Chicken already did this, and they have Robot Chicken characters come into the wall or something. I can't remember it exactly. It's been a while since.
Well, there was the multiverse episode where they go to the Robot Chicken universe. And it's like Optimus Prime, He-Man, G.I. Joe, these are things that existed. And then Stewie's like, what's it like to be on a major network for 5 seconds?
And Chris, I hate you.
I feel
that
like
was a great episode because they also made fun of Disney.
Yes.
It's a wonderful day for
pie.
Look, it may not be. Look, people have said there's two sides to every story. People have said it's not true. People have said it is true. People that have worked with Walt said he was not anti-Semitic. But, who are we to really know? Still, so funny to get that rip in. And that's coming from someone whose wall is decorated.
Right, Disney. Yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah.
Because even I get my jokes in about that. You know that from Match Game.
So
I don't want to ask you guys what your favorite episode of Family Guy is because there's so many, but I will say this.
Death Has a Shadow, the pilot. It's fantastic.
But what's your favorite Stewie and Brian Go Somewhere?
Oh, the Road 2 episodes?
The Road 2.
Okay. Road to North Pole is great. I love the Christmas.
That is my favorite.
I don't know what
it's so dark.
Road to Germany for me. Road to
With
Germany,
Dan
where
and Chevy Chase.
They have to go back in time to save Mort.
Oh no, that's not the one with Dan Aykroyd.
No, I'm sorry. I think it's Road to Berlin or something like that. But they go back in time to save Mort because he accidentally goes back to World War II. Mostly because of the Stewie dressing up as Hitler and doing the mirror thing. It was just the perfect joke. And then they go to do the song, and Mort's like, "Would you guys get on the pad already?"
Because they do the song every Road 2 episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Christmas time is killing us.
Yeah, North Pole was really well done.
That was
I don't know what my favorite was. Isn't there one that's Road to Quahog where they're going back home?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
If that's the one that I remember, I think that's the one that I like the most.
Now, if you had asked me,
what's the one where we meet where he goes and meets his mom?
Oh, that was good too.
That one was a good one though.
Yeah.
But it's so sick when he gets there.
Now, if you had asked me,
oh my god,
if you had asked me what my favorite episode that was Brian and Stewie oriented was, I would have told you the episode where they get locked in the vault because Brian actually meant to go and commit suicide there, and Stewie talked him out of it. It got really deep. It was one of the deepest episodes.
In the playground where Brian.
One thing I love about their relationship, Stewie always tries to act like he's this tough shell guy who does not care, but he loves Brian more than anyone. Like even Peter loves Brian. That's his best friend for real, but nowhere near the best friend level he has with Stewie.
No.
And there's the episode where Brian dies, and he dies for a few episodes. And watching Stewie deal with that was very deep. And I love that Seth MacFarlane can do that. And I don't, to get a little off of adult animation, I ended up watching the Orville, which you told me to watch for a while. And I put it off.
We will be doing an episode about that show for sure.
I thought it was going to be too much of a spoof of Star Trek. But one thing I forget about Seth MacFarlane, he can do comedy and depth.
Yep.
And he mixes it so well. He can be serious when he needs to. And that was an episode where he really
Blue Alien, man.
And that goes back to your original point. It really does. And I'm glad you brought that up because we should not limit people to what they can and cannot do. Seth MacFarlane proves that. There's deep episodes of Family Guy. A show that when you hear the name of it, you're like fart jokes, crude humor. But then when I tell you that one of those episodes was so deep that it actually meant something to me. And the fact that it's him playing both voices, because they're really the only two characters in that entire episode. Brian and Stewie are both played by Seth MacFarlane, so you know that on some subconscious level, it was a conversation he was having with himself, even before he started recording the lines. And it's amazing that a show like that can do that. Seth MacFarlane can do depth. He can do sci-fi. He can do comedy. He can do drama. Don't tell me he can't. Just like you can't tell me that adult animation should be for kids and take all the adult out of it. It's not. Disney shouldn't be limited. Seth MacFarlane should be limited. If you tell me Ryan Reynolds is doing a dramatic role, I'll tell you I've already seen it, and it's amazing. So he's not a comedian.
Right.
You guys have anything else to say about Family Guy?
I did want to say two things that I love, and I do want to change my favorite episode. I know I said something. I think Then There Were Fewer, the murder mystery, is awesome. I really dig the murder
that's
mystery.
the one where at the end
He's gonna
he
take
saves
that
her.
bitch out, it's gonna be
Exactly.
yeah. I will say that I also love when Stewie is in his therapist with Ian McKellen.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets up on that couch and does Alexander Hamilton beat for beat, and his nose is just right. Oh my god, so funny.
The episode where he actually kills Lois, and then the follow-up episode was actually.
I was talking
really
about
good.
that episode today about the merman.
Yep.
Yes.
But why would you want a merman that is fish on the bottom? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like, come here, lady. It's like, no, get back in the water. No. Oh, I'm cracking up just thinking about the show. It's that good.
I need to watch the Family Guy after this. That's for sure.
Oh, American Dad is
American
still really
Dad
good
is a
too.
good one.
The fact that the guy that plays Steve is on the Orville as the pilot is really funny. Like, they're the same guy. And you can't tell it when he talks. You can only tell it when he sings on the Orville. Is that
Can he sing?
Yeah, he can.
Another honorable mention I want to give is Inside Job.
Great Netflix series.
Netflix really pumps out that great adult animation. The thing I love about Inside Job is it takes every silly conspiracy theory that's way out there and it's like, yeah, they're true. And this is the company that handles it all.
The Lizard People episode was my favorite. It was my absolute favorite because they have their own like university underground. It's not That's Yale, awesome. It's like I need to watch Yale or something like that. It's hilarious.
I love the Flat Earth episode where it's like, no, the Earth isn't flat, you idiot. It's actually something even more ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like a double decahedron or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Or I won't get into the details because I know Jay hasn't seen it. The Moon episode.
Yep. Definitely watch Inside Job. I have an honorable mention because now that it's done, it's one of those you can go and binge watch if you want to. It's what's up, Keith? Keith Cooper in the comment section there over at Blurtish. Go check them out. That's our buddy. Another honorable mention if you ever want to binge watch it, just because the series is done now. Archer. Another John H. Benjamin project, much like Bob's Burgers, which same voice actor. They actually do a Bob's Burgers episode of Archer, which is really funny. It's stupid spy fun. It has a storyline way out there, but it's hilarious. And if you love the voice actor for Bob from Bob's Burgers, you'll love Archer. It's hilarious.
I need to watch Bob's Burgers for sure.
Yes, you do.
Yep. I don't know why I haven't gotten into that's going to be another one of those ones where I'm just like, why didn't I watch it sooner? As in everything.
Right.
But I get in too late.
While we're on that, Jay, how did you like the movie?
Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
I like a lot of what it did.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the answers that it gave us. I like the hat story. It was really appreciated. I thought it was sweet. But you know, how many times is somebody going to be accused of some, right. This show was basically a ton of accusations being thrown at people. I mean, it opened with one. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And I love Kevin Kline and I love Mr. Fish Odor. So having a Fish Odor centric plot for the movie was fun.
I feel the same. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Bob's Burgers. Like, I'll watch it. Mama Bear's the bigger fan than I am. Yeah, so the Dreamland seasons, Keith, they're not really that important.
Is that Archer?
Yeah, for Archer. He's in a coma for like a couple of seasons. So they just did like his coma brainscape.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Everything that happens in those seasons is happening in his head, so it doesn't really affect anything. Yeah. Well, it was still very Archer-esque, so it was pretty funny. But
it's no canon material.
No, I don't think they knew that they were going to get renewed. So they just kept putting out these shows, these episodes that I'm sure they had already made.
And then they could have closed it with him dying.
Yeah, you know, they could have just closed it with him never waking up, and it would have been okay. But they did do another season after that, and now that's supposedly the final season. So Archer Vice is my favorite.
My question with Bob's Burgers, the movie, is that something someone could watch to introduce themselves to Bob's Burgers, or is there so much references that you need to watch the show before you even watch it?
I don't know. Like I said, the thing with the hat is kind of reliant on understanding who Louise is, I think.
Yeah.
Personally.
Okay.
For me, I would say if you're gonna watch the show, then watch the movie first. It's a great introduction. If you've already watched the show, then the movie's just an add-on.
Right.
But
it's not even something you need to watch. Yeah.
Really, the reason, honestly, and I might catch some flack for this from Bob's Burgers fans, but I'm going to say it like Seth MacFarlane said when he got asked why they haven't done a Family Guy movie. Because I don't feel like they did anything in the Bob's Burgers movies they couldn't have done in a 2-part episode. Other than the different animation style, which was amazing.
All it gave them shading.
But yeah, exactly. But
all it is shading.
The characters flowed a lot more, which they showed off with a musical number, and I loved that.
Yeah.
But Family Guy does that as the seasons go on anyway.
Family Guy
without doing a movie, because if you watch the first episode of Family Guy and then you watch the most recent one, the animation style is completely different.
I would like for Fox to do a Family Guy movie. I would like to see what it would be and how Seth would, because he has that gripe, how would he do it?
Seth said it was when the Simpsons movie came out. He was asked.
Love the Simpsons movie, by the way.
Yes, love the Simpsons
movie. That movie was phenomenal, and it wasn't something that could have just been done in an episode. It was a very deep story.
Yeah.
He said that he didn't, not that he didn't like the movie, and this is Seth MacFarlane's, I'm not speaking verbatim, but this was his opinion. They didn't do anything in that movie they couldn't have spanned out over 3 episodes, but he liked what they did. He just didn't feel like it would be right for Family Guy to do something like that at that time. Now, that was years ago when that movie came out. So there's no telling what Seth's got planned now. But I'm hoping he's focusing on Orville.
Yeah, I definitely think his focus is on Orville, because like you said, he doesn't even write the episodes for Family Guy anymore. He just comes in and does recordings.
Right.
Yeah.
He focuses on his other projects.
Yep.
Keith has something to say about Archer.
Archer being over feels like the end of a certain Adult Swim era. I used to love Frisky Dingo. I forgot about Frisky Dingo.
Oh my God. Do you know what I used to watch in the middle of the night? I was like itty bitty and I shouldn't have been watching it, but I used to watch the crap out of, was it 12-Ounce Mouse?
Yes!
Dude!
Yes!
That shit
Simpsons movie was the last Simpsons thing you watched. I think I've watched.
I think that's true.
Yeah,
I think that's the same for me though.
The Halloween episodes, the haunted house.
I watched
episodes,
Treehouse of Horror religiously.
Yeah, the Treehouse of Horror. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
And the fact that they predicted a lot of stuff, and we should probably just do a Simpsons deep dive at some point and just talk about all the things they predicted that came true, because they got the Queen's year right for her passing, and that is. Whew.
So did John Mulaney. Well, not year, but 30 months prior said 30 months.
Well, I still don't understand. There's a lot of stuff that comes on Adult Swim I don't understand, Keith. I'm right there with you. Adult Swim, Aqua Teen Hunger Force is another show that was an adult animation that did a movie. To the point where advertising for the movie got a city shut down for a terrorist threat because they weren't sure if it was a terrorist threat or not. We'll have to deep dive that if you want more information.
You dare insult the word of the Almighty, Jimmy! Shout out to Kerry Means, who is Frylock, and also my friend on Facebook. He is the best.
Really?
Yeah. I met him at a con, and he is so. Was he? I think he's been to Jackson Con. Has he?
Frylock is probably my favorite character from Aqua Teen.
He's so good. He's so great.
Upsets me so. He's
such a love Kerry. Kerry is great. I don't know if he watches this, but if he does, hello.
Hello. What are some other things about adult animation? I had so many things I wanted to say, and I'm just like, I mean, you're talking to a guy that watched South Park at like 13.
See, South Park is one of those I could never get into.
Yeah.
Like I have tried so many times to get into South Park, and
it's not for everybody. I can't even watch it now.
I have to watch episodes on things that I understand so that I can laugh at the humor. Like my favorite episode is the Sondheim episode.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was cackling my butt off at Stephen Sondheim and Andrew Lloyd Webber and Stephen Schwartz and the whole bruh. But
mine had to be the Trapped in a Closet episode. The Trapped in a Closet episode where Tom Cruise was hiding in Stan's closet from being a Scientologist. Yeah. He was hiding from being a Scientologist. He wasn't in the closet because he was hiding in the closet for being gay or anything. He was hiding in the closet because he didn't want to admit he was a Scientologist. At the end of the episode, he admits he's a Scientologist. But it's only after R. Kelly comes in, he's like, now I'm in the closet. Now I'm in the closet too. The Scientology episode, yes.
An honorable mention I have, because I'm a big nerd for the two main characters. Shout out to Harley Quinn on HBO Max. I love that show.
I need more Kite Man.
Hell yeah!
I need more Kite Man and I need more Condiment King. Those are my two. Like, everyone else gets a lot of screen time. They don't, and I feel like they should.
I really enjoy. Have you seen the latest season?
Ooh. I haven't even watched this show.
No. Okay, never mind.
Oh, Boondocks? Oh, I love Boondocks so much.
God. I used to watch that in the middle of the night, too.
Yeah, Boondocks was so good.
I've never watched
that. That started out as a comic strip. That started out as a comic strip that got turned into a show.
I love the Boondocks, yeah. Really?
I don't miss Harley Quinn. The fact that Cat Williams played a pimp in Boondocks. A pimp named Slickback. I'm sorry, Mr. Slickback. No. It's a pimp named Slickback.
So, Matt, I'm glad you said this because every time I tell people I don't like South Park, they think it's because they make fun of things. But I love Family Guy, and Family Guy makes fun of everything.
I love jokes laughing at liberalism just as much as laughing at conservatism.
The jokes are not what put me off of the show. I honestly, it's a little bit the voices, but I cannot get behind the show.
It is the horrendous voices. It's like nails. Ugh.
It's so funny too because I used to do a Cartman impression that was pretty. Screw you guys!
No kidding.
First two seasons was great. I read it during George W. Bush years. Oh, okay. Yeah. Talking about Boondocks. I still think it's amazing that started out as a comic strip. It didn't start out as a comic book. It didn't start out as a novel. It didn't just start, but it also didn't just start out as an idea on a TV room floor where they're like, all right, we're doing a new show. Give me ideas. It started out as an already working every week in the newspaper comic strip that they took and put onto a TV screen. Boondocks was so well done. The theme song from that show alone is worth watching the whole series, I feel like.
Well, I don't have I don't have anything more about adult animation to talk
No.
about.
I guess the takeaway is find a show you like and don't let anyone tell you it's supposed to be for kids. Because
if you don't like it,
mature,
that's okay too.
it's not. So,
It's
I
okay to
cannot
not
wait
like
to
something.
see how they react to Deadpool. Like, seriously.
Yep.
What happens when a Deadpool movie is made by Disney? Because how many people of this specific, that check all these boxes, love Wade Wilson?
Right. Yep.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be mad at somebody.
You can't be excited that Disney's finally fixing to get Deadpool in the MCU and then sit there and say that because Disney owns Fox now, they shouldn't be making Little Demon. It's not fair. It's just not. And don't give me that life's not fair crap. Just stop being whatever that is. Exclusive. Stop being an exclusivist. I don't know if that's a
Katie,
word.
you're catching us towards the end.
Yeah. I had a comic in each issue called Twisted Mega Theater that inspired Robot Chicken. Yeah. Robot Chicken started out as a Toy Fair magazine comic strip. Matt Hombrella was talking about that as well. I pulled some up.
You're breaking up a little bit, Bear.
Oh no.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Your audio sounds a little more.
Let me do this. All right, is that better?
It's doing something weird. I can hear what you're saying, but it's very weird sounding. Glad that didn't happen for the whole episode.
How about now?
Oh, you sound great.
Okay, cool.
There we go.
Just had to remove myself from the stream for a second. Was playing Fork Knives. Well, guys,
later,
thank y'all for sitting down and talking about this topic with us. So glad.
Be sure to check out Jay with Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, October 13th. Get your tickets now when you're hearing this episode, or now if you're watching the live stream. They already went on sale. It starts October 13th. We're going to try to get people together to go down and see it that weekend, opening weekend, just like we did with SpongeBob, which was amazing. And we've talked about that before. Also,
it's next week if you're talking about the convention.
Yes, the weekend that this comes out, you can catch Jay and Mama Kim over at Contraflow in Kenner, Louisiana. Go and check them out over there. Is that a 3-day event? That's 7th, 8th, and 9th, correct?
That's correct.
Yes, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Go and check them out at Contraflow if you're listening to this the day it comes out. And I'm not sure about this, but just to go ahead and put it out there, October 22nd, I'm pretty sure we're doing RidCon, which is up here in Ridgeland, Mississippi. If y'all want to come swing by and see us at that event, it'll be at the Ridgeland Library. More details to come on that on the page and wherever else you're getting your information about the Bearded Bear entertainment stuff. Be sure to check out a new episode of Bar Tavern Talk and Geeked Moms coming out. Geeked Moms comes out at noon. Bar Tavern Talk comes out at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to check those out if you're listening to this day of release.
It's an adult animation show. It comes out at night.
In a way, yes.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Thanks, Tyler.
So,
Thanks,
and be sure to check out all our friends that dropped in on the live stream. Be sure to check out Katie B.
Yes,
obviously
Katie,
one of the hosts of
Geek
Geek Moms. Check out Blurtish with Keith Cooper over wherever you get your podcasts. And also Knights of the Nurse Table. EJ did stop in earlier. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping in and supporting. Thank you for watching the live stream. If you did, this episode will be edited with maybe clips from some of the shows that we talked about and stuff like that. And will be out next week. Until next time, which we will be talking Lightyear and Toy Story, correct? Is that next episode topic?
Possibly, unless we were going to vault that one.
I don't know. Well, that one's coming out down the line sometime. So when it does come out, enjoy it. And if something changes between here and the next recording, yeah, that's how it goes. Until then, I've been the Bear.
I've been the Beard.
I've been Nerd Squatch.
And we want to remind you, as always, to stay awesome,
stay bearded,
and much love, everybody. We'll see y'all next time. We are out of here.
Boom, cut the check.
That was totally wicked!
Thanks for checking out another episode. We hope you enjoyed it. New episodes are released every other Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Check back then or subscribe so that your device downloads it automatically. Audio episodes are available pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts, so it's really easy to share them with all your nerdy friends. For YouTube viewers, subscribe and click the little bell so you're notified about all our new content. Links to talk nerdy to us can be found in the episode description as always. You can chat with the bear, the beard, or the rest of the Bearded Bear team, head researcher and graphic designer, Mama Bear, the social media sorcerer, Nerd Squatch, the master of marketing, Han Bralo, the master merch fabricator, Tyler the Great, or any of our public liaisons, Mama Kim, Katie Cat, or JB. Huge thanks to them, the geeks of the round table, and all our awesome friends of the cast. Much love, y'all. Lastly, for more cool music like this awesome outro track, go check out Harlequin Soul, Secret Apex on Facebook and Spotify. His links are in the description as well. Talk at you next episode, nerds. See you then.
Do either of you guys got a joke? If not, I got one I could do.
I have a funny interaction that happened, but I'd like to hear your joke, and then I can tell you all about it.
Oh, I was just gonna have my device do a joke, but if you got a funny interaction, that's even better.
So Mama Bear was folding laundry earlier, and I was just trying to make her laugh, and so I came in and I said, I did something. I think I like moved a hamper of clothes or whatever, and she was like, "If you're trying to test me, this is the time to test me." And I said, "I'm not trying to test you. I'm not a teacher." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, teachers are the only ones that are allowed to test, and most of the time, it's standardized."